How do you handle stress or difficult situations? I took a nap. Yeah, I have a bunch of questions here on my laptop. It's giving cozy vibes, especially because it's a rainy day here in New York. We're just gonna get to know me a little bit more, and some of these questions are the most like commonly asked questions, like when it comes to the get to know me tag. So hopefully, you know, this is fun and some interesting. I did bring in a couple questions in there too to kind of like switch it up, or maybe I didn't. I'm not really 100% sure. I'm gonna be looking over here with my laptop because that's where most of the questions are. Let's get into this video. Not me being vulnerable. Where do I start? A little bit about me, and then I'll answer some of the questions to just kind of like give you a framework of some of these answers, right? Or at least most of them. So first things first is I wasn't born here. So I'm actually from Haiti. So I'm Haitian. I don't know if it's like Haitian American. I'm not sure how it works because I feel like Haitian American means like you're born here by Haitian parents, but I'm Haitian and I guess American, so I live in America. So yeah, I'm Haitian American. I have two other siblings. I am the middle child. So I'm actually like the first immigrant daughter. Like I'm like the first daughter immigrant, whatever the phrase is. So if you know, you know. I have a younger sister and an older brother. I'm closer with my sister, so I'm 24, about to be 25. My sister is 20 years old, and then my brother's 28. I immigrated here in 2005 or 2006. I know it was like in the spring of like 2005 or 2004. I need to look back at my papers. But this is when I immigrated. So I immigrated here with my mom, a single mom of 3. And she previously had her dad living here. So that's why we were able to come, because back then it just was easier to immigrate. It was like a sponsorship. So if you knew somebody that was here, you know, and they were here for like 10 plus years and they were family, I think, or maybe friends, I'm not sure, but you know, this was my grandpa. He was able to sponsor us and have us move here to the States. So my mom, in like early 2000s, like the first couple of years in the 2000s, you know, we packed up our bags and we came to Miami, Florida. So I grew up in Miami, Florida, and I spent a couple of years in Miami. So I do resonate a lot with Miami just because I grew up in Little Haiti. Not grew up, but just like my school was in Little Haiti. I actually went to Little River. So if you're from Miami and you know Little River, it's not called that anymore. It's called like Jessie J. So I actually went to Little River. We still call it, like when I go back to Miami and stuff like that, we still call it Little River because it's still that name in the community to us. Like I went there, my brother went there, my sister went there. This is where the story kind of gets to like a little bit of like Matilda, but not in like the orphan kind of thing and like parents were terrible type of thing. Let me just finish my brows because I feel like I don't want to like this to drag on, because one thing I want to do is put like some blush on my cheeks. I don't have liquid blush. I'm just gonna try a technique where I'm gonna just pack on like powder blush. It might not work, and just see how it works, and then adding something on top to see how that looks. I don't know. We shall see. Back to the story. So when I immigrated here in like 2005 or so, like in the spring, I think I was 6 years old and I was gonna turn 7. I started school, elementary school, and that is where we meet my first grade teacher, which is very important. Let's call her Miss Saunders. You know, she was my first grade teacher, and long story short, you know, she kind of like, you know, became my mentor and, you know, kind of became a part of my family. You know, I did not come from a very affluent background. Like I said, I came from like an immigrant household. We just didn't have much. And so she was just like very helpful, and she would help out our family members. And, you know, when there would be hurricanes and things like that in Miami, which we all know is probably hurricane season right now, she would basically help us out and like bring us like snacks, things like that. And at some point, she would even like bring me, like save me snacks, because back in the day, believe it or not, there used to be snack time, and she would save me snacks and then by the end of the week and then give them to me to take home. And I'm not saying this like as if our mom wasn't feeding us. It just was like, we didn't have a lot. Like she fed us what she could, but it wasn't like we had like extras, if you know what I mean. She ended up becoming part of the family, and long story short, in 2008, my sister and I were in her wedding as flower girls, and in 2010, Between 2008 and 2010, she asked me, because she was teaching at a charter school here in New York, she asked my mom and me and said, hey, I'm teaching at this really good charter school. It's really strict, it's disciplined, but I think it'll be a good opportunity for education for Brenda. And I packed my bags when I was 11 or 12, and I moved to New York. I did 6th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade, 9th grade, and then, no, 6th, 7th, 8th. She wanted me to come for 5th grade, because I guess in New York here, they have 5th grade through 8th as like middle school, but in Miami, middle school is 6 to 8. So that was confusing to me. It still is. I said, you know what? I wanted to graduate with my friends. So I graduated with my friends like 5th grade, because it was like this whole thing to like wear a white dress and everything. So I graduated with my friends in the 5th grade. And then I ended up moving to New York for 6th grade. So I applied to private schools and things like that. So I did private school for high school, and then I went to college in Memphis, Tennessee. So that's like pretty much like my whole like story. And so from like when I was 12, you know, I've been going back and forth between New York and Miami. And then when I got to college, I didn't really go back to Miami as much. My mom would visit me more, because I decided after college, I was like, you know what? It just made more sense to move back to New York, just because there were more job opportunities and you don't need a car in New York. And so, yeah, now I'm an adult. And so I just kind of like split up my time with my family. That's pretty much my story. I can't believe I'm saying it on like the internet, which is crazy. Cause it's just like, you know, some people are like, you should write a book. You know, I'm like, yeah, that's a whole nother story. Like, you know, I was just, when I was 11 or 12, I was just excited at the idea of like moving in with my 1st grade teacher. Like that was all I could think about. Clearly, you know, there were a lot of things that came up, which were about to come up, like, you know, me being 12 years old and moving out and not really having my family with me, like my biological, you know what I mean? There were some repercussions, but I wouldn't change it for the world. You know, I don't think I would have met my friends that I met in college. I did it all over my eyelid. It's like a dark chocolate brown, and then I just added like Dwalas, the shade Dwalas, all over my lid, you know? I don't know. Anyway, I'm gonna blend out right here. This is what it gives. So I'm gonna put it in my waterline, because I've been, okay, Brenda. First question. So let's get to like the actual questions here. Brenda, let's focus here. So the first question for this tag is, when is my birthday and what is my zodiac sign? My birthday is actually September 14th, and I am a Virgo. I feel like we're kind of hated, but it is what it is, and we make the world go round. Okay. Second question is, I don't have my glasses, so do you have any pets? If yes, introduce them. I do not have any pets. I'm kind of iffy when it comes to pets. I feel like this is when the Haitian in me comes out. I just like, I don't know, man. I like the idea of them kind of, but I am honestly like, they're just so much work. Like there's just so much work that I don't think I have the capacity to have a pet. I do, when I was younger, I did not like pets though. I did not like pets. Like I was actually terrified of them. If you're from Miami, especially in Little Haiti, you know, just in Miami in general, there's always, most of the pet interactions or dog interactions I had were just like stray dogs, which now that I'm older and I'm warmed up to dogs, that's actually really sad. So most of my interactions with pets were just with dogs, and animals were on the street, and they usually would be chasing you and things like that, which I've learned that if you run, they chase you, because dogs think that it's fun. I don't have any interest in pets. I like the idea of them, but I don't really want the responsibility of them. I'm gonna do cranberry blush and put it underneath and see, y'all. Not gonna be the same as like liquid blush, but we'll see. So it's gonna be very like stark, but then we're gonna put foundation on top. Looking like a clown. What are your favorite hobbies and interests outside of YouTube? That is such a good question. I don't think I have any like other interests and hobbies. I mean, I'm so boring. I don't really have any interest or hobbies outside of YouTube. Like this is my only interest right now in hobby that I like to do for fun. I look ridiculous. But yeah, I don't really think I have, okay, I can't take y'all serious with me, my face looking like this. So let's put on some foundation, of course, the Lancome I'm gonna do one pump. Okay, just one. But yeah, I don't have any other interests and hobbies. I would love to get into reading again. I mean, last I read was like a while ago, but I feel like if anything, that's like the main thing that I would love to get back to is like reading. Are you a morning person or a night owl? I was laughing at this because I was like, I'm none of them. I don't know. I'm definitely not a morning person. So in regards to like me waking up early, and I'm like taking off some of the blush, but let's see. We're gonna trust the process. So in regards to me waking up early, I wouldn't say I wake up at like 5 o'clock in the morning. That's not really my style. I'm more of a, like my body will just wake up naturally at between 9 and 10 a.m. So, but I would not say I'm a morning person. I'm not one of those people where I'm like excited in the mornings. I need like a good hour and some change, you know, when I first wake up for me to want to interact with people. Like I've been watching Love Island, and like the fact that like I'm literally Whitney. Like Whitney just be quiet in the mornings. Like people who are just like ready to talk, and like that's not really me. But yeah, so I'm not a morning person at all. And I'm looking, what's your favorite type of music, and do you have a favorite song or artist? I don't think I really have a favorite type of music. I listen to all kinds of music. I feel like my music is based off of like vibes. And so I will go from like wanting to listen to like early 2000s, like, you know, if you watch One Tree Hill, like that's my kind of music. I guess I'll look and see what kind of genre that is, but that's like my kind of like music that I usually like. I love R&B, hip hop, pretty much listen to all kinds of music, but I guess I'm more into like the chill, like R&B music. Like I love Kiana Lede. I love Summer Walker's music. I love, of course, like Beyonce, like her Renaissance album, love that. And of course I like 2010s playlists, like those like pop music, when I feel like pop music was slapping, like literally, I mean, Kesha and Katy Perry and, you know, all those like songs that came out in 2010, like those songs. But yeah, I feel like I don't really have a like crazy preference when it comes to like music. It just all depends like my mood. So did I just do somewhat like the liquid blush effect with like powder? Look, I mean, it's something. It looks like as if it's like coming from underneath. I agree. Maybe I don't need to go out and buy liquid blush. I mean, but that was a lot though. But I mean, if you have a very pigmented blush, this is a really good option maybe. I don't want to speak too soon yet. Next question says, do you have any favorite books or movies? What genres do you enjoy? So I mentioned like wanting to get back into reading and things like that. I feel like I would love to try like I love like fiction. That's always been my favorite genre. But more of like the romance side, you know, if you're on Book Talk, I like those kind of books. I don't really want to be reading nothing too serious. Like I really don't. I want a bit of romance in there to like, you know, spice my life up a little bit. But if I were to read a book, it would definitely be like the fiction, like, you know, romance category. What's your go-to comfort food or favorite cuisine? Is that a question? Haitian food. Haitian food all the way. My favorite like comfort food is like Haitian food all the way. Specifically, I like legume, dili, and sauce pois. So I'll have a picture, you know, but I love like dili legume. So it's like rice and beans and like white rice. And then legume is basically just like a bunch of vegetables, like stewed vegetables. And it's so freaking good. Oh my gosh. Share a funny or embarrassing childhood memory. This isn't like funny maybe or whatever, but I would definitely say, so when I was in elementary school, I joined like a dance class, and I joined it kind of late. So I had to learn the dance kind of late, and I was interested. I was in middle school. I was like, you know what, I want to do it. So the time comes and I'm on the stage, we're dancing. We had outfits and everything. This was like 6th or 7th grade. Girl, I busted my butt. Like I busted my ass. Like I literally did. Like I fell and everybody was like, oh, and you know what didn't help? I ran like leaving the stage, which it would have been better if I actually just like stayed, but no, I decided because I couldn't handle it to run leaving the stage, which did not help my case at all. I honestly, like, I don't really put myself in public humiliation like that, or in, like, you know, in ways for me to get publicly humiliated. So I don't really have like crazy stories. Like, you know, one time I was performing, like, I stayed my butt home. I finished my makeup. Other questions. Have you traveled to any interesting places? Where would you love to travel? I would say the most interesting, memorable place that I've been to would be South Africa. I loved South Africa. Like, it was really, I went for like study abroad. So that was my experience. And I did more of like a multicultural, like, it wasn't like the pretty one, but we went to Joburg or Johannesburg. We were primarily in Cape Town, and then we went to like other places, but we did like homestays, like home visits with families and things like that. And I had a really good experience. That was like a 14 to 16 hour plane ride though, but I would say that would be the most like memorable, like interesting places that I've been. Where I would love to travel in the future, I would say one place that I really want to travel to is Dominica. It's an island in the Caribbean, and yeah, that's the one place I can think of that I want to travel to. I'm trying to zoom through these questions because we ain't got all day. Are you a coffee or tea person, and how do you like them? I'm neither, honestly. So growing up in Haitian culture, like tea, like drinking coffee with bread is a cultural thing. So there's no really like age kind of thing. So, but coffee doesn't really affect me. Maybe that's because of that. But like, I don't really think coffee affects me. I'm not one of those people where I wake up and the first thing I need to have is coffee. So I don't really care that much for coffee. Tea, but I drink both. That's the thing. Like, I have an espresso machine, and I do make tea. So I'm not like, I need to have tea, I need to have coffee. If I feel like I'm getting sick, then I'll just go crazy. But I don't think I'm either of them. And if I do have coffee, you have to, like, you'll see how I make my coffee in my, like, I'll like tag it, but that's how I like my coffee, if you want to know. What's your favorite season and why? I love spring and summer. Like, I love the heat, you know, preferably like my favorite temperature now is like 73, 75 is my favorite temperature with a nice cool breeze. I know it sounds very specific, but that's like my favorite temperature. I don't like winter, as you know, if you've seen my, once again, seasonal depression videos. I know they don't do that well on here just because I'm primarily like a beauty channel kind of thing and not really like a mental health, but I'm always gonna bring up the fact that I don't do well in the wintertime. A valuable, okay, 3 or 4 more questions. Share a valuable life lesson you've learned so far. I was just telling my sister this. One thing I've learned is, like, if someone offers you like a service, like they say like, you know, I got it, or like whatever, take it, okay? Unless you feel like there might be some manipulation behind it, but otherwise, if someone's genuinely offering their service and their time, like, don't be afraid to say yes and just shut your mouth and just take it, you know? And I feel like for me, going back to like, you know, the first daughter of an immigrant family, it's, you know, very independent, you got it. But one thing I've learned for sure, that's like my biggest lesson thus far, is like, if someone offers help, like, take it. Second to last question is, what's something you're currently obsessed with? TV show, game, hobby, etc. I wouldn't say obsessed with. I'm currently struggling to find something to watch. So if anybody have any suggestions, let me know of what to watch. I pretty much watch anything and everything. Recently, I've been watching Love Island, UK version, emphasis on UK version. And so if you know, you know. So yeah, the only thing I've been obsessed with TV show wise is Love Island. I recently finished the UK one. Can't believe, I don't want any spoilers. I feel like at this point, it is what it is. Like, the fact that like Whitney and Lohan did not win. How is that possible? How do you handle stress or difficult situations? I took a nap. I go to sleep, you know? If I'm stressed out, I take a nap, okay? One thing about me is I will take a nap. That's why in my bio it says we prioritize rest and mental health here, which we definitely do, but like rest, like I'll never feel guilty for resting. If you know, you know, hit up the nap ministry. When I'm like stressed, I will usually take a nap or handle difficult situations. But to be quite transparent with you, like, I'm one of those people, it's not healthy, but if I'm like in a fight or flight kind of mode, or like I'm just going and going, or if there is a stressful environment, I usually will just be that person where I'm just like very like this, like I gotta go boom, 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 boom. I gotta do this, I gotta do that. And then I end up crashing. So it's not very healthy, but it's either, there's no in between. Like, I either take a nap and I'm just like, whatever, or I just like push my feelings down about whatever the situation is, and then I just process it later in therapy. Last question is, what's something on your bucket list that you hope to accomplish? I would say I'm not a person to really say out. I don't know. I'm not a person to really say what my dreams and goals are necessarily, like outright. You know I don't really have like anything super big or that I want to share quite yet, like any dreams or goals that I want to accomplish. But I hope this video got you all to know me a little bit more, because I feel like it's been 1 year. Yes, as of now, when I upload this, and I hope to upload this, it's going to be 1 official year since I've been on YouTube. I feel like it's been a year, and I was like, do they even know who I am? I hoped the beginning of this video was helpful to kind of give you an idea of who I am, and things like that. So if you have any other questions, or if you have any video ideas, please let me know. I'm always open to trying, listening to any of your suggestions in regards to videos. I know you all like these kind of styles of videos where I sit down and like talk, so I don't mind that.